A TV show based on Space Nation Online, a crypto MMORPG that we've covered a lot here at Decrypt, has just started development. And to discuss it, we've been joined by the two executive producers for the TV show, Roland Emmerich, the director of Independence Day 2012, among a bunch of other films, being named the Master of Disaster, as well as Marco Weber, the producer of Igby Goes Down and the 13th Floor. So to start off, guys, what could we expect from the TV show?
It's a kind of typical kind of sci-fi show, which is, I think, appropriate. It will be also slightly in the future, so we can say, okay, so the world has changed, but in a way, which is like reasonable, and it tells the story of a girl who wants to actually stay on Earth and defend the Earth from these invaders. Now, the invaders, you don't know much about them. You only know they're coming. And so she kind of tricks her parents in one of these ships, and they leave. A lot of people leave Earth, flee Earth, and she wants to kind of, she tells her parents, oh, we're like kind of already, kind of, we were like kind of, they're waiting and waiting and waiting, and she's not coming. And then they have to go, and she watches this from above, and then she kind of pretty much like signs up to a defense program. And, and that's the start, and that's how we want to kind of suck people in, and then it's like kind of, who will be the aliens? Who will be, like kind of the defense mechanism? What is, and they go like to this training moon, which is a Jupiter moon, and that's a whole setting. And then when they come, they're like kind of much in bigger force than you ever can imagine.
Yeah, it's a little bit also like, it's like this a Noah's Ark concept with a ticking clock, yeah, because they know there is like an attack coming from the aliens, and then that's when like basically they decide, should we stay on Earth, defend, or like all board a Noah's Ark, and that is kind of the conflict then, because some people say we should defend, some people say we should escape, yeah.
But also like kind of not everybody can leave.
Yeah.
It's only the very affluent, people who can leave. A lot of people have to stay, and they kind of then, and then they're building more or less, more ships, and more ships escape, and you know what I mean. It's this whole things, saying, of Space Nation, and it's and at the end is pretty much where the game starts.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask is, are you guys planning on just doing one season here, or is it a multiple season thing? I guess if it ends where the game starts.
Well, when it's successful, we want to kind of do more,
Yeah, but I guess the idea then would be maybe showing a story from a different angle there, or would you be willing to make a TV show about the start of the game?
Well, it's like kind of, I mean, we don't know yet, because we have first kind of write this one, but and that's like kind of quite difficult, because you don't want to you don't want to make it too big, and you have to kind of ask yourself, so what is the outcome? Because we could very well end the show also with a cliffhanger, and then there is a natural second show possible, and it's still a prequel. You know what I mean? But we want to stay in the prequel role.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys done this before, but is there a unique challenge that comes with creating a game, creating a TV show that is tied to a game that is already out?
No, we've not done this before. This is the first time that it's our foray into.
This is like a first. This is, everything is a first.
But we are very blessed with great partners, I have to say, yeah, with Jerome and Tony, who delivered a great game, and like really, are super diligent and professional. So the experience is really good so far, yeah. Which is also why we feel we really want to step up with a quality show now, yeah, to match that. and the expectations of the community.
It was said that you've sort of started development. What exactly does that mean? What stage are you at? What have you planned? What have you got left ahead of you?
Well, but like kind of what we kind of looking for is now a writer or maybe writers. And, that's a kind of a difficult thing because a lot of the writers here are on the WGA, and we may want to not do that, so we're like kind of have a hard time. I think we will go a lot to England because I have also a house there, and and I can very deep dive into that.
Yeah, and basically, so the main concept has been created by Roland and me. Then that's the idea of the prequel, and then what we want to do. So that has been the work in the last few months, and now you need to put together a writer's room, and that can be the next step, and then we will crank out. We will need 8 screenplays because it's going to be 8 episodes. Yeah, that's a pretty traditional format, and every episode will probably be have a length of 1 hour or 58 minutes. So that's the format, and that is now what the development process is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and do you know how long this development and filming process normally takes? I've never made a TV show, so I've no concept of how long this could be.
I mean, I'm kind of busy with other stuff, but I always kind of like a new challenge. And that's for me also a challenge because this is also totally new for me. My last show was it was my first TV show, was called Those About to Die. And, it's quite successful. And so I have to now do a second season, but I think, I will have time to do the development of this show together with Marco, and we're actually really gung-ho about that because it's also something never done before.
Yeah. So do you have any sort of time scale that you're planning to get done with development?
Ideally, in a year from today, we would be in a position to have what's called a Bible and a few screenplays, and then ramp up for the financing and production process. Yeah. So that then maybe it takes another year to shoot it. And then, so if we if things
2
go,
years.
yeah,
2
years,
2.5 years.
Yeah. That we would be in good shape. Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, obviously the game is sort of where the IP starts and is expanding out from. Have you guys played the game, and what do you think of it?
Well, I had no time to really play it, but Marco has, and he likes it.
I mean, obviously, I have been very involved also in the game process with the guys. I mean, I lived in Beijing. That's how I met them, and I like games. So I have to say, the biggest concern at the beginning was when people said, "Oh, let's try and shoot for the Web3 with this game." Yeah, and when I dug in and did some research, there was a lot of crap out there. Excuse my English, yeah, in the Web3 when it comes to gaming. Some games either never materialized because they just it was a fast money grab, yeah, where somebody said, "Oh, let's get some token going. We make a game and see you next year," yeah. So all the games that were there were very casual and not really the quality was. And I said to the guys, look, I think the good news is there's a historical chance to create a game that is quality-wise different than what people have seen before. And the bad news is that everybody will look at what we're doing, especially since Roland is involved with his brand. Yeah. So the quality level needs to be there. And I think that they did that masterful. I mean, when I played the game and I see the graphics and the characters and what you can do, and there's already such a vast opportunity to spend hours in that game, even at launch. I have to say I'm really blown away for what they did. And I think that the feedback we get from everyone is, guys, this is really new standard in the Web3, yeah, and keep the work going. And I think that's great for us. I think that is kind of the feedback that especially Roland and I like a lot, that we know we're involved in a project that is defines a quality standard. And that's what I would say in a nutshell about the game.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear how you got involved in the project, Roland. Marco, you've clearly been involved from very early on in the game side as well. But Roland, how did you sort of get involved with the team?
Well, it's like I heard first time from Marco what's going on, and I kind of said, "Can I be part of it?" And he said, "Well, it's like we're actually in the process of making a deal," and that was like 2 years ago or something like that, or
2.5
maybe
years,
more.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I kind of you know kind of was very interested because they have this was very very ambitious, really really ambitious. And I said, how do you guys want to pull this off? And they pulled it off. They really pulled it off. And yeah, and then I actually was also like, when I saw first results of the game, I was also blown away, because I mean, what these two guys doing is incredible. We have also naturally now a team of 30, 40 people who working on this, and that's also like kind of great, because they all have the
Roland,
same.
Roland, it's 130 people.
Oh yeah. Oh, 130 people.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's a fast growing thing.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Marco, there is, and I agree, there is a lot of crap out there in the world of crypto gaming. So I guess, what are your guys' opinions on crypto as a whole, and then deeper in the world of bringing it into gaming and TV shows and movies?
I mean, on the Roland and I, we've been interested in crypto many years already, interestingly enough. Yeah. And like when Bitcoin, Roland and I, we were interested in Bitcoin at an early stage, and we always had an eye on crypto. Yeah. That is something we like. And also, I mean, if you look at the movies that Roland and I did, they always like, it's something that is always dealing with the future in a way. So we're very open-minded when it comes to new things. Yeah. I, for example, 10 years ago, I tried to do something with BitTorrent to launch a TV show, yeah, as a BitTorrent original. I always like to break out a little bit out of the Hollywood mold, and looking for new financing opportunities and production opportunities and audiences, yeah. So this kind of fits the wheelhouse. What we like about Space Nation is that from the very beginning, the team in Beijing created a very solid token economy. And I really dove relatively deep in that token economy. And I felt it was super solid, because it had like two of the main elements we wanted to see is, like, we didn't want anybody to sell a token or whatever before the game was actually launched. Yeah, to use that for a game launch, and people might lose their money if it doesn't get released. So we went out very traditional and raised up to the tune of $50 million to build this game, from investors, from VCs, from management buyouts, etc. And we said, so we built this game, and that's what happened nearly over the last 3.5 years. We launched this game, and then we build our community, and we want to see how the players react. And we then slowly will move our token economy as a second step into this. So we didn't do a TGE yet, which most people would have done probably on the day of the launch or before or immediately after. Yeah. And like, see, we have 8 to 6 weeks to it. So we said, let's wait a few more months. Yeah. Or maybe if necessary, half a year. Yeah. Because we first want to establish the game and then the economy. And that was our approach. And I feel that people appreciate that.
Roland, what about you? What was your sort of perspective on crypto and Web3 as a whole?
Well, I kind of own a lot of Bitcoin and watch it grow. I'm more the huddle guy, who is like kind of just kind of watches with, and I don't never get nervous when it crashes, to a certain point, because I'm like, no, this is a long term, thing. And we have then also like kind of interestingly enough, we got some tokens. This is part of the deal, and I have very high hopes that this will work out.
What tokens, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it's like the tokens from our own game. They call it OIK.
Right.
Yeah, it's our own token. And also we as like founders and all the team members, we've given ourselves very long and conservative cliffs. Yeah. So there's no pump and dump scheme for anyone who worked on the game. The cliffs are super conservative over a year. There's nobody else who can do something earlier. Yeah. Because it's about stabilizing. And we also have like this concept when it comes to the token economy. We kind of have an in-game token called CHR that people already use currently, for in-game features. And then we have our OIK, which will be the token that we list.
Yeah. I guess the next natural question is, will the TV show use any Web3 elements, or have you guys got any Web3 plans coming up?
Well, so it should be reflective of the game. I mean, it's like, but it will be a classic TV show. There's no any. It's a classic science fiction TV show, and it wants to be that.
Yeah, and when it comes to the Web3 and AI, obviously we have a very keen eye on that. Yeah, so for example, if like in a year our token economy and our OIK has built up that strong that it is really like a bankable currency, then ideally what we would like to take is we would like to invest some of this, which is the community ownership basically, in the token, into the video, into the TV show, and partially finance it, which would allow then the Space Nation community to own rights into the TV show, and they could even interactively develop the show with us. Like we could give them certain choices, etc., and involve that community. And I think that's what Web3 would give to us, and we're looking into that, how we can integrate that in the process. The second thing is that AI is for us a super important component. Yeah. So we used AI. We worked together with a company called Sci-Fi that is based here in the Valley. They do 3D environmental product, which is like really very convincing. So they worked already on the game, and it's because they mostly cater to the game studios with their software and the universe. But we also, Roland and I, a few months ago, we looked at different AI technologies and products. Like we had a presentation of Sora, but we went together to. We looked at other stuff, and we felt that for us it might make more sense to go with an independent partner like Sci-Fi. And we spoke to them and had a meeting, and we said, would you guys be interested and willing to take your product and develop a specific version of that product for the TV show, like a sci-fi version for the environmental sets, so that we can use this in the TV show, which first of all would help us save production costs, and secondly, it's the kind of project where you might want to try an AI product like that. So the people at Sci-Fi, they started working on that, and they basically simultaneously to our development process will also get like some of the scripts to see what is it that we build, and we want to really build a production specific AI software for the production of this.
So what will AI be used what will AI be used for within the TV show itself? Is it, you mentioned backgrounds and stuff like that?
Yeah, backgrounds, like kind of spaceships, all these kind of things, because AI is a great kind of tool. And when you see it as in the form of a tool, it's you can do whatever you want, and we will like hopefully kind of show them, a little bit, what what could be, like kind of a possible way to do it.
We're not going to get full AI actors or anything. It's going to be sort of.
No. This is like still a lot of
Also, we have too much respect for our own trade. Yeah. So actors, writers, I mean, these we would never replace it with AI, and I don't see that. Yeah. But if you can replace a set fully created by AI, and science fiction is obviously perfect for that. Because people have never seen the future. So if you create it artificially, people cannot say, "Oh, it doesn't look real," because they don't know how the future looks. Yeah. And
I guess that's the next natural question as well. Is AI has sort of got a bad rap, similar to crypto in many ways. But in the filmmaking world, people really look down on the use of AI. I remember an A24 film had a single frame of an AI image, and people were really not happy. Do you think that's unjust? The amount of hatred that AI gets?
Well, it's like let them let them yell and think. This is a movement or as a technology which will nobody can stop it. This is just like kind of too good, too realistic, too kind of So I'm like kind of just hopefully can work with that and create like incredible backgrounds because
Yep.
that's all what you kind of need, and then you like kind of put people in and there will be fighters and there will be the aliens will be in a certain form kind of. Uh, you know, look a certain way, and that's it.
We've got the master of disaster here, so I've got to ask this question. Do you think AI could lead to the end of the world?
Ooh, big question, big question. I don't think so. I believe in that it's a positive tool, and it will help you kind of in a thing. If it will get conscience, maybe it is already. Who knows? And that's like. But I'm a more positive person. I'm not a doomsday person, at all.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't, because if so, that's going to be a horrible way to go out. Is AI taking us out? But yeah. But before the call, you briefly mentioned that you have a planned NFT collection, sort of created by yourself. Could you tell me a little bit more about what that is?
But it's like we have like kind of one NFT, which is a spaceship I created, and that's just a test rocket, in a way. And then we hope that this like naturally we can do this maybe two times a year, and then other stuff, and then we maybe invite some people to do something. But it's like just to kind of try it out and see how it works,
yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
Is it a one of one, or is there like 10,000 of them that you can buy?
No, there's a limited edition, yeah, that we've put together, which is 3 or 4 thousand. I don't know really what the team in Beijing is finally ending up on the number, yeah.
Mhm.
And there's one thing Roland forgot to mention, which is very special, that it comes out on his birthday, yeah, November.
Ah, happy birthday.
It's on the 10th of November.
On your 21st birthday, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys seen, but Neil Blomkamp, the director of District 9 and many other films, is amongst the leadership of Off the Grid, which is a crypto shooter that is getting really great reviews. I mean, I personally am really enjoying playing it at the moment. Do you think filmmakers are coming around to the idea of crypto? And if so, why?
I think, yeah, I mean, you can already see it everywhere. Yeah. Like, because it's also very Hollywood. Like, some agents tell their filmmakers, "Oh, you need to look into this." Yeah. Because everybody talks about that. And then there's always like big hype and nobody really understands the basics of it. And then people jump on it and scream, "We have to do that now," until, it doesn't work. Yeah. In most cases. So what I really like about this process is also, especially for Roland as a filmmaker, and for me too, is that, like, while doing this over the last 3 years and really building, we paid our dues to understand the gaming business, to understand the Web3, to understand token economy and crypto, and we see what you can do and what you cannot do. Yeah. So I think everybody who invests the time and who really is serious about embracing it might find a way to use it. People who think, "Oh, it's a quick money grab and let's finance a project and maybe we can squeeze $10 million out of that," I don't think that they will succeed, and there will always be the stories then how it didn't work and how people lost money. Yeah. So I think it is with everything. You need to learn the trade. you need to dive in and invest the time. And I think we did that over 3 years with Space Nation. And that's why we're very optimistic that as we go on with our TV shows and everything we do, we will find good and like credible ways to marry the Web3 token economy and traditional filmmaking. Yeah. So let's wait and see where that brings us.
Absolutely. And this is my last question. In the age of Netflix and Disney Plus and all of these streaming services, there's thousands, if not millions, of TV shows to pick from. What will make Space Nation, that TV show, stand out from the crowd? Why should I watch this show rather than another one?
Oh, wow.
That's a philosophical question.
Because it will be kind of inventive. Will be hopefully we will be as inventive as you can get, because don't forget we have the added possibility that we can go into studio and shoot the backgrounds together with the actors. This is like a technology which you call volume walls and the volume studios, and they're like kind of, and you can switch the image around in like, let's say 5 minutes, and and you have a really, really amazing technology which like kind of you have to just do, and there's always very little you have to add, but for example, maybe we have to build a fighter, for the people who want to kind of touch it, and but that's very, very little what we need.
Yeah, I think also, as I mentioned earlier, the AI component. I mean, if you think about like in a year and a half, we might be shooting, and I mean, I see like in months how already the quality of AI, especially 3D environmental, is improving. Yeah, so maybe in a year and a half, there is, and we hope that the Sci-Fi partners can deliver that. There is like a software that enables us to do really things that wow the audience. Yeah, and that is something that could also separate our show from other shows. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it is also story development, character development, directing, and just making something that people say, hey, I can relate to this. I want to see more of that because I like the characters, because that's what I believe in. People want to identify with some of the characters. They want to relate to them. They want to feel home with them. And then they want to go through a journey with them, which is the show. And we need to do a good job in creating that at the core of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Either way, I'm going to be watching it. So I'll see you in 2.5 years when the show comes out. Marco, Roland, thank you so much for joining me.
Okay, cool.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks for having us.